Dear friends, this is a general astrological overview for the year 2019. I will soon record astrological calendar for the same year as I did in the previous years, and perhaps I will also record in English videos for all zodiac signs. I did not do this until now. I did not have time as I work in 3 languages, but I will try to do that this year. And definitely I will record videos in English about the big conjunctions that are coming in the Capricorn sign during the year 2020. So stay with me and see what is coming. Uh, for the changes that we are going through in this our time, we need to have some sort of a philosophical view on life. We also need to believe in God or the power of universe. Everyone has that according to his needs. And we also need to widen our consciousness constantly in order to make an impact on the processes that are happening. And the question is, which are those processes? So I would mention a few of them. First of all, we are going through some sort of a clash of civilizations. By saying that, I do not think of the clash described by Huntington, that is very much quoted in today's political works. So he speaks about the clash between Christians and Muslims. But when I say clash of civilizations, I actually think that that what is happening is a change, not the clash, but maybe it is change, and it is happening because of the waning of the Western civilization and growing of the Slavic and Chinese civilization. We can also add here Indian civilization, which is actually very interesting because it's interesting in that manner that is very similar. It has similar origins as the Slavic civilization has. This is something that science is proving more and more obviously in today's time. Furthermore, those processes are tightly connected with the question which power is going to rule the world from the year 2020 on. Then those processes are connected with the big changes in the scientific sphere. People will discover new ways of perceiving natural laws and the laws of physics, or to say the laws of universe. We are also facing changes concerning food, and many things are happening about usage of the earthly resources, or to say natural resources. Until now, everything was turning around the oil industry, and this state has been prolonged for too long. So the time is coming when people will use other energy sources, and let's hope in a better way than they did it until now. So, better side of the year 2019 is the return to the human and family values. Also, in 2019, we will start to have more mature attitude to our own religions and to religion and to foreign religions, and not only religions but maybe life philosophies. Those who did not understand will have an opportunity now to learn that behind every politic, science, or religion is actually mythology. That means what you believe in, that creates your worldview, and from that position you see others as well, or to say you even judge others. Also, it's important to add here that one usually defends that what he believes in. Does not mean this is absolute truth, but it's truth for himself or herself. Certainly that's the energy of Jupiter, planet of symbols and mythology, which is going to be very strong in the year 2019. In that context, of course, many will discover what do they believe in. Generally speaking, we are preparing for the new age. Many people are talking about this already 50 years. But new paradigm is preparing already for more than 100 years. And now we are going to go through one big moment in this preparation time. And that moment is going to happen in the year 2020. That's the year of change. That does not mean that things really change. Astrologically, that's the year of change. So we are nowadays, as we know that we are going through some big shifts. So nowadays we are actually going through some process that many people call energetic cleansing. And that is extremely complex process for the humanity that creates extremely big chaos. Micić was writing about this in many of his books. And he was saying that people live in cycles. Of course, many other scientists speak about this. So there are some cycles in the history of the humanity, and there are some big shifts that civilizations and cultures have, and they like there is the end of sort of civilization or culture, and then a new one appears. To say shortly, in such times of big shifts, the lies becomes truth, non-moral behaving becomes moral, and old values are always ridiculed. Fortunately, those processes have ended, and slowly after the year 2020, a new order will be established. So basically, you should not be unhappy when you see the chaos around you and the loss of morality. The bigger houses, the bigger lies are, the closest is the moment when energy will shift. I know it sounds strange, but it is so. Let's see now the most important planetary constellations in the year 2019. Pluto is in Capricorn from the year 2008 and is still there and is going to stay there for a few years more. While being in Capricorn, he is going to destroy completely old world ruling structures and will transform the world power. This transit repeats only once in 250 years approximately. In March of the year 2019, Pluto will meet in Capricorn with Ketu, the south lunar node, and later in 2020 will meet with Saturn and Jupiter. So these are going to be big conjunctions. We call them in astrology big conjunctions. There are going to be 3 of them in the 2020. To go back and say a few words about Pluto. The entering of Pluto in the sign of Capricorn in 2008 is known as the big economical crisis. The so-called crisis grows still, and it is better to call it change or transformation because it is not some short period crisis that will disappear. It will not disappear. And this actually reflects only political problems and obsession and pathology, let me say, of the world ruling structures. The energy of Pluto is destructive and deeply regenerative at the same time. It only depends how we use it. It's important to know that it shows that everything has the end and the new life appears only if in the new form. So old forms have to be destroyed. Those processes have to be separated. Yes, you cannot build completely new things and keep old forms. It's impossible. Neptune is in Pisces. Let me mention Neptune also. Medicine based on chemical industry will not function for a man whose conscience has changed. So there are going to be many changes in the field of medicine. Let me remember that Nikola Tesla was curing himself at the end of 19th century and beginning of the 20th century, so more than 100 years ago, by changing frequencies in his body. And the official medicine in many countries in the world still does not accept this. So maybe the time is coming when we will accept this. Neptune in Pisces stresses the importance also of water resources. We should use them wisely and prevent the greedy humans in limiting our access to the water resources. If not, the battle for the water resources will exchange the battle for the oil, I think. I'm not sure about this, but I'm saying this as an inspiration to you. With Neptune also in Pisces, arts and philosophy will become more spiritual. I have a video about Neptune in Pisces, so please have a look at this video on my YouTube channel if you are interested in learning more about Neptunian energy. It's very, very important nowadays. Then Saturn is in Capricorn. So when Saturn is in Capricorn in his own sign, he strongly influences political and ruling structures of the particular countries, but also world ruling structures. Corrupted politicians have a task to prolong the status quo as longer as possible, but after the year 2020, it seems it will not be possible anymore. Even though they hide the truth in the official media, we hear enough, we are informed enough about the dark side of the politics. With Saturn in Capricorn, many will have to pay for their sins or their chivalry, let's say. And it is possible that the new order cannot be established before some sort of a judgment is done. You see, there must be some cleansing process first. Pluto says that, Pluto in Capricorn and Saturn in Capricorn. I would like to stress also that by studying the laws of universe, we know that one should never use other people's resources, other countries' resources, other resources to satisfy his own needs. And if he does that, or the collective does that, then he or the collective has to pay the price for that. So if an individual or a collective does this, will suffer and face consequences. I also have a special video about Saturn in Capricorn. Have a look on that video in order to learn more about this extremely important transit. Pardon. Saturn in Capricorn is serious. It's a bit scary sometimes, but it's very, very useful. With this transit, everything that is unnecessary and fake will fall off. And that will happen on the collective level and on individual level. So check where you have Capricorn in your horoscope. That is going to be the place where you will face big shifts, big changes, and where you will abandon everything old that you don't need anymore. Then Uranus. Uranus will definitely enter Taurus in March 2019. Uranus was there for the short period of time in 2018. Of course, Uranus changes economy completely, banking system, insurance system, and so on. But what is very interesting is that will change science. Science will change, especially material science of the Western culture. As you know, in this material science, there is nothing that is connected with the spirituality or art or these kind of things. And when I was writing this video, I found a completely new theory of the origin of the universe by one Serbian scientist, and I was really fascinated with this. With Uranus in Taurus, also our approach to food will change, then towards earthly resources. As I mentioned before about Neptune, the time of oil and industry will most probably end, and people will explore other earthly resources, and let's hope they will do it in a less selfish way. The earth element is going to be very strong in 2019. And we know all treasures are hidden in the earth, so there will be interesting things for all of us to learn about earth. And that is because Capricorn is active and Taurus is active. Even Jupiter at the end of the year 2019 will be in the Capricorn earthly sign. I have 3 videos about Uranus, so please feel free to have a look at those videos. They're all about Uranus in Taurus. I think that they are useful information for you. For example, I think that the only stable investment while Jupiter is in Taurus into land. Pardon. Then Jupiter is in Sagittarius from the November 2018 until December 2019. Jupiter is the planet of myths and symbols and will show us clearly what do we believe in and how we create our reality. And we create our reality according to our beliefs. With this position, Jupiter will be more ready than ever to fight for his beliefs. With Jupiter in Sagittarius, the conflict between different belief systems and life philosophies will become even stronger. Those conflicts we already see now. For example, people are fighting on the internet about that is Earth round or it's flat Earth. Then there is a conflict between alternative healing methods and classical Western medicine. Then the question is still, does astrology has a meaning or everything in the space is only dust and gas? And of course, the question can be, is Earth turning around the sun or it is opposite? That's always open question. So these things actually are people going to solve more and more in the year 2019. It is, as I said before, it is of a big importance to understand that behind any science and religion is actually mythology. And when one civilization ends, old mythology fights actually with new one. And such times are always dramatic. That is happening in our time on the collective level, and Russian philosopher Alexei Losev wrote fantastic works about changes of mythology and actually the meaning of mythology. So I recommend his books very much. So what we are going to believe in and how the new universe will look like, we don't know now. We don't know which science will dominate in the future and how we are going to understand human being in this context. But conflicts are already there. So I have spoken in the videos about Jupiter in Sagittarius that you may wish to see also. There are 2 videos, I think, in English. That the year 2019 will show that high institutions are corrupted or have no meaning anymore. These are universities, of course, or courts, state courts and institutions like that. I also spoke in those videos about Jupiter in Sagittarius, about mixed energies during the year. On one side, there is going to be an energy, it will appear from the time to time, energy of hope and big expectations, when people believe that even miracles can happen. Of course, miracles can happen. And this will be contrasted with the feelings of disappointments. With Jupiter in Sagittarius, journeys are possible, and especially because of religious reasons. So many will travel themselves because they want to go to some pilgrimage to see important religious places, but this transit will actually show also that immigrants in Europe are not only refugees. There are such people who are coming from devastated places, of course, but there are also migrants who migrate because of religious reasons. They have some sort of religious mission, and that will be clear during the year 2019. So with Jupiter in Sagittarius and Neptune in Pisces during the year 2019, we learn to relate to our own religion and to foreign religions in a new way. New approach to religion will appear at the beginning of the year 2026. And maybe all of those processes will somehow influence that. Lunar nodes will be during the year 2019 on the Cancer-Capricorn axis. The direction that is pointed is towards Cancer. So we are going towards home and family values. We will need the protection of home from the negative influence of the politics and degenerated society, let me say that way. I have 2 videos that speak about this. One is New Direction, Lunar Nodes, Cancer Capricorn Axis. You can see it if you're interested in this. And I also have another video that was about the eclipses. The name of the video is Changing Time, the meaning of eclipses in the summer 2018. And all the year 2019 we are going to be under the influence of those eclipses. They are not just gone and disappear, they will have still effect on us. So what is the year 2019 good for? It is fantastic time for developing critical thinking and intuition as well. It is very interesting. Strong earth element teaches us to be grounded and to keep on old values, even if it's hard, and to take care of material side of life. And at the same time, our intuition will grow, and the same as our spiritual life. So it's interesting year for us. We are preparing for big things that will come. And that's all for now. We'll see each other in the other videos for the 2019. If you wish to learn more about yourself, you can order personal consultations with me. All contacts are under this video on the YouTube channel. At my website, that is Symbolic Thinking, you can find different types of consultations and readings that I offer, so check that there, please. Some readings are offered in audio form. And in the last time, I also combine astropsychology with Thetahealing. So when I see that people need to get rid of some programs and prejudice, blockages that are stopping them from having healthy and content life, then I recommend them to use Thetahealing. If you like the video, please do not forget to like it, subscribe to my channel and share the video. I recently had million views on YouTube channel, so I would like to thank you for watching my videos and supporting my work. Wish you all to be happy and to create with others more human world in the future.